Alright, Sunny Inkstarzz here with the boy Steph Jones.
What's going on, world?
Alright, man. So what's good, man? First off, let me start by saying how it feel to be back in your hometown, man.
I mean, it always feels good to be back. You know, right now we chilling right here in my mama's house. I had some cornbread casserole this morning for breakfast. Yes, I did. And it always feels good to come back because this is what I call the recharging state. Because being in Europe and LA and New York, it can start to like leave you soulless. It starts taking a piece of your soul out. So you always have to come home. And then this is like, I'm recharging right now. Eating my mama cooking, calling my teachers. You know, sometimes I'll climb the same tree I used to climb when I was a little kid, but then I'm getting that foundation strong, you know, because you gotta have a strong foundation to build a house.
That's what's up, man. So for those that don't know of you yet, tell us how you got your start, man.
Well, pretty much I started everything on MySpace and YouTube, and then you know I made some antennas raised up over in the DTP camp. And I signed a recording contract with Ludacris over at Disturbing the Peace Def Jam, and it didn't quite go as well as I would want it, but you know I got everything that I needed to get out of that whole time that I was over there. I just felt myself changing as an artist in order to fit a certain type of brand, and I'm the first one to always talk about I don't believe in blocking creativity, and I feel like I was blocking creativity over there. So I removed myself, I requested a release, I never reshopped my deal because I was getting so much more done being indie, and still to this day getting so much more done being indie than I did in the whole year and a half being signed to a major. And now I'm making a lot of major moves on a minor scale with no budget. So
that's what's up, man. Alright, so you say it's with Ludacris camp. Is there one thing that you learned from him that you feel you could use in business further on down the line?
Oh yeah, you know, never compromise your artistry. He doesn't compromise his artistry. He's such a creative genius that whatever it is, if it's somebody pop that he's working with, or somebody straight street, or soul, like he doesn't compromise his artistry. He just goes with whatever comes in his soul and he lets out. And so I do the same thing, and I see him doing that, and I can't compromise my artistry. So I continue to do that, and being the fact that I didn't really have a manager that whole time, I was in all those meetings by myself, so I would always ask Shaka, I'm like, what is this? What is that? What is that? What is that? Even if it didn't have anything to do with me. So now my business mind is crazy. Sometimes I feel like I know too much for an artist. But yeah, so I learned a lot on the business aspect of things.
That's what's up, man. Alright, so you say you got your start in basically online.
Yeah.
Alright. Do you feel like online is helping or hurting artists as far as like with the downloads and everything?
It depends on how you use it. A lot of people, they're not hip to the online world, and they're so stuck in yesterday, like 98. It's not 98, it's 2009. If you can't change with the times, you ain't gonna get nowhere. You'll be like my grandmother when we gave her a cell phone. She was like, what the hell is this? You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to change with times. So it helps artists and it hurts artists. It hurts artists that only rely off of record sales. But now it can't just be about the music. It has to be more about your brand. You know, you gotta be about your merch, your shows, your downloads, your record sales, your music, if you can write or produce for other artists. So it has to be, you gotta have that foundation, that strong foundation. You can't start from the rooftop and build down. You gotta have that foundation so you can build up. And you just have to have the right team in place that put you in the right places so that when that door opens, you have these opportunities right there in front of you.
Alright, cool. So you most known as Mr.Ordinary.
Right.
So where did the name come from? The song, everything.
Well, Mr.Ordinary was a joke. I started writing a song when I was like 16, 17 years old. I'm like, I wake up in the morning feeling so free, and I held on to it for a long time. And then for those who follow my career, they know, I did 25 months in a French prison for not snitching on somebody. Long story short. But while I was in prison, I was just writing songs, raps, musical. Like I was doing commercials, everything, because my mind was quieted, and I was only focusing on just trying to better myself as a man, as a human being. And then I just started writing a bunch of songs, and Mr.Ordinary was one of them. And when I got out, I took it to like 6 different producers, and they couldn't give me the feeling that I needed. And then someone introduced me to this guy named Chris Warrior. He played me about 50 beats. I didn't like none of them. And then when I was leaving, I started just humming the song like, and he was playing some keys on the Wurlitzer.
Right.
And the music traveled all the way from the back room to the front door. It hit me right up under the pancreas. I was like, oh, and I literally did like that, made the noise. I'm like, what is this feeling? Oh man. So I ran into the room. I'm like, dawg, what was you just playing? He said, sing the song that you were just singing. So I was like, wake up in the morning feeling so free, stretch up in the yawn and I crack my feet, put on my house shoes and go and brush my teeth. I did that and he was playing, and that's when I found that the power of music is it's all about motivation. It's not just about just making music. I don't make music for money. I make music because I'm motivated to make music, and it has to come from here.
Yeah, I feel you on that, man. All right, so now I didn't know about the French prison thing. How did it help you as an artist? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, better yet, help you at life. You know what I'm saying?
Well, anytime that, I'm not gonna say anytime. It takes a strong individual, but anytime that you have life taken away from you, but you don't have to worry about bills, girls, car tickets, anything else outside of just yourself and you focusing on yourself, there's room for anything. Anything is possible. We use 0.9% of our brain, which is that much.
Right.
You got the rest of your brain. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to utilize the rest of my brain. So while I was in there, I just started doing things that I wouldn't normally do. I was just like, you know what? All I have is time, so I gotta have some type of program so the time will go by. And I stopped using my right hand and I use my left hand, because when you do certain things, it exercises certain different parts of your brain. So I just stopped using my right hand. I used my left hand for a whole year. I learned sign language. I learned I started French and damn near spoke fluent French. And I just started doing a lot of things that I wouldn't normally do. And then that just bettered me as a man. And when I got out, I applied those things. And since I had all the patience in the world there, naturally, I have all the patience in the world here. So I just apply that to my everyday living now. People are like, man, you're so wise. Wise beyond your years. Whatever, man. I take it as the fortunate vacation. I wouldn't want to take that time away. I thank God that He allowed me to have that time to myself, to better myself as a man. But at the same time, I wouldn't want to do it again. So thank you, but no thanks again.
All right, man.